Okay, you're here. I'm here. So we're talking about One Piece chapter 1017. Okay. I'm sorry. This was a good one. We're not on the rooftop. Spoiler alert for people that haven't read the chapter, but if you haven't read a chapter, why are you even here? You're trying to spoil yourself? We're not on the rooftop. But I think this is one of my favorite chapters not on the rooftop in Onigashima so far. There are a multitude of reasons for that, right? Because this chapter was slow in the beginning, but it picked up as we got more information because this is one of those chapters. It's an informational chapter that's giving us information that we've been craving, but not too much. There's one bit of information that I was like, okay, that's fine. And there's the other where I'm like, holy crap, this is really, really big news. I'll let you guess between the two, right? Can you believe that something could be special? But something else I want you guys to do that's special for me is subscribing to the channel, because that would really help me out. That lets me know that you're enjoying the content or you've enjoyed the content. You can wait till the end. You're going to enjoy this video. Drop a like as well, because I'd certainly appreciate that. And without further ado, let's talk about One Piece chapter 1017, because it is a doozy. Okay, Tama. As we predicted, Tama has a great role, a very important role, and she's going to follow and see it through. Tama's goal is to switch as many people as possible to turn the tides of the war, even more so than she already has. I think a lot of people saw what was coming, where Tama was about to announce something to everyone. Everyone is asking, where's Bao Huang? And it's like, who is this brat? Tama was there to change things. And I liked how they depicted her in the way that she was scared, right? She was in front of everyone, and her goal was to tell everyone to switch sides, follow Luffy, and fight together. It made me think of the opening, we fight together. You know what I'm talking about, but that's what Tama was doing. I really liked when Oda showed us the state of the battlefield, right? Just giving us an idea of what everyone's doing, where everyone is, everyone's situation. And it's a lot to fill in. It was a lot to put in there, but he did it before Tama made the announcement and after, right? I think that was very important, because for us as readers, we're wondering what's going on. How is everyone doing? In the previous chapter, I didn't talk about this as much. I think I did mention it. A few people, I think Sasaki and Who's Who, had transformed back to their regular forms. So they were no longer in their Zoan form. So people were saying, okay, does this mean that these fights are being skipped? I did not think that, because it wouldn't make sense. I think more than anything, Oda had set up Who's Who and Jinbe, so he had to flesh that out. He had to give us more dialogue and information between those two, because it's something, even in my prediction videos, if you've seen those, I've been saying, Who's Who and Jinbe? Who's Who and Jinbe? Oda is setting them up for a reason, and this reason came to fruition today. And so we're gonna talk about that today. So, gotta say, shout out to Jinbe. Jinbe has been written off by a lot of people because he's fighting Who's Who, a member of the Toby Roppo. And so when people think of Toby Roppo, they think of Alti, they think of Page One, they think of X Drake, they think of, Sasaki. Who's Who, in my opinion, is clearly above those guys. He's somebody that's a bit different because of who he was compared to back then. He says he was a rival to Rob Lucci. Now, I gotta remind you guys, Rob Lucci is a part of CP0 now. Rob Lucci is one of the villains in One Piece that I think has followed a trajectory similar to Luffy's. Not saying he's still as strong as Luffy. I think Luffy's definitely stronger than Rob Lucci right now. However, Rob Lucci's progression, once he comes back, I think is going to be very strong, because Oda has been showing us that he has been growing. And before, remember, Rob Lucci was a prodigy. So for Who's Who fighting Jinbe, he must be a prodigy as well. So I gotta say, I'm happy about that, because Jinbe, again, has not been getting as much credit for, the experience that he has, being on the seas as long as he had, serving as members of the army for the Fishman Island Kingdom, a former warlord, following Whitebeard. Jinbe has been through a lot, so this is showing Jinbe's experience, especially how he handled what Who's Who and his minions were saying, where they were laughing at him saying, oh, Jinbe, did you think this was going to be a one-on-one, Jinbe? He's like, no, you have the numbers. Of course, you're going to take advantage of that. This is what we expected. We're responsible for fighting the officers, and with the officers, you guys have grunts. So for Jinbe, this is him showing his experience, and I absolutely love that. And Jinbe continues to show why he's a fan favorite, right? In the midst of danger, where it seems like everything was against him, no fear, no real reaction, just mellow, doing what he needs to do. That's the sign of an amazing subordinate, and Jinbe is no less than that. So they showed before and they showed after, and I saw my guy Hamlet. He's now on their side. Shout out to Hamlet. And the tide is changing. Even CP0, they're like, okay, what is actually going on? Because of course the numbers were still heavily in Kaido's and his army's favor. Now it's hard to tell what's going on, because every part of the battlefield, they're turning on each other. well, the minions, the gifters, the pledges, they're turning on each other. So CP0, I don't think they'll be able to keep track as well anymore, but now I wonder what they're gonna do. Now you see the tide is turning where it's becoming a bit more equal, right? Where both sides, in regards to numbers, they're starting to align. CP0, who do you want to win? Are you even involved? Who are you rooting for? But I think the end of the chapter would lead me to believe that they would be rooting for Kaido, because if the end of the chapter is anything or any big information that we expect it to be, CP0 should be privy to this knowledge as well, right? Before that, we got Queen. That's the information I was referencing, where I'm not sure how I feel about it because it's similar to SSG, where we get an abbreviation, and abbreviations are cool, but it's like, okay, we don't really get much. Yes, Mads, it was implied that Queen worked with Judge, and of course Judge worked with Vegapunk and Caesar. So there was a group of people researching something, and I think lineage factor is a part of that. Obviously devil fruits. One, if you want to jump into conclusions in regards to what this alias Mads could mean, I mean, I don't know, multifaceted alien devil fruit scientist. I don't know. However, this abbreviation, MADS, is something that is going to be important in the future because Vegapunk has been referenced in Wano before. I'm really starting to think that Vegapunk at some point makes it to Wano, whereas he would be the one to retrieve Kaido. Now, we'll talk about that at some point, but I'm starting to think that Vegapunk is going to play a very important role towards the end of the arc. Even in an SBS, apparently it was said Vegapunk will explain or elaborate on devil fruits and their true meaning at some point in the near future. So we gotta wait and see. Queen cyborg form. If I had to give it a grade, probably a C+ or a B, maybe a B-, right? It's fine, it's cool, but it's not the best, right? So I think B-, B, right around there. And we're gonna get a very amazing battle between Sanji and Queen. Of course, it's gonna be a battle of not only ideals, but also a battle of technology. Sanji's raid suit versus Queen's cyborg isms, right? But for Queen constantly putting his friends seemingly in danger and playing games with his own people, where for Sanji, he's always trying to save his friends, keep them out of danger. So I really can't wait to see this battle unfold, but that's not the major thing of the chapter that you guys were waiting for, right? I know what you guys want to talk about. I know what you guys want to hear. So let's get there. Wait. There's one thing we got to address. Zoro is going to make it back into the fold. Initially, I felt some type of way about it. I was like, okay, Zoro's coming back. Well, I wasn't mad about Zoro coming back because that was obvious. He left the battlefield too early. And Zoro, the right hand of Luffy, he's going to be back in the battle, right? That was obvious. But I did mention that for certain moments, for Oda and Onigashima, some moments have been a bit lazy, right? Like for instance, right? And this is an honest critique for Nami. I would have liked for the Nami thing to be wrapped up in a different way, right? Nami to be a bit more creative with using her powers, because Nami and Usopp, two of the more creative and clever people in the series. And for the most part, it got wrapped up because Big Mom got involved. So that is what it is. For Zoro here, I gotta say, initially, I was like, okay, this, it's expected, but it was like, all right, whatever. It's pretty lazy. However, there's some context that we will delve into in regards to why I feel better about it. I don't mind it, okay? I think that it's fine. Zoro's supposed to come back anyway. It's not inherently bad, right? Because I'm not saying that at all. This is not bad how it got resolved, because Chopper is collaborating with the Mink, and the Minks, they're going to heal Zoro. That's just what's going on. But I wonder if there was another route that could have been explored. How do you guys feel about that? Maybe it's something that people are like, all right, whatever, Zoro's gonna come back anyway, it is what it is, right? And for the most part, that's how I feel, but just something I wanna let you guys know. Okay, we truly can move forward now. Who's who? Apparently, he's a former CP9 agent, and he was rivals with Rob Lucci. The reason why he was with Kaido now is because 12 years ago, he failed a mission, and the mission was to defend a ship that was guarding, Luffy's Devil Fruit, the Gomu Gomu no Mi. And the person that obviously took it was Shanks. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious. That's what they're implying here. But here's the thing. It could be a situation where Shanks and Lucky Roo, because remember, after Luffy ate the fruit, Lucky Roo had a reaction like, hey, the devil fruit we took from the enemy ship is gone. So Shanks could have taken it from another ship and not directly from the world government. But I think it'd be cooler if Shanks took it, right? So I think Oda's going to go that route. It's not confirmed, just saying that's how I'm taking it. But who is a lot more important than we thought. We figured he was going to be a very important character because of how he set it up. Ooh, Jinbe, I know you, but you don't know me. But I know you, but who are you, and who's who? So his whole diatribe in this chapter, I enjoyed. And I absolutely love the lore because it leads to a very different question about Luffy, him being special, his devil fruit. What does this mean? Why were they protecting this devil fruit? Why were they transporting this devil fruit? From where? Does this have any ties to Joy Boys, the Beck, Roger, right? Why did Shanks in particular choose this fruit, right? What does this mean for Luffy going forward? What does this mean for the devil fruit? There's so many questions based off of just that line that it was stolen from the world government and was protected by CP9. Not only CP9, somebody that rivaled Rob Lucci back then. So essentially a prodigy. This is big news. And I think chapters like this, going back to Mads and just the information we got, my favorite chapters, because now we got to think. We got to go back, look at every time Luffy's devil fruit is mentioned, Luffy's devil fruit is referenced. Were there any hints that it was special? How do you feel? I mean, this chapter, ever since I read it, I've been thinking, and even my live stream, I put my link below to the live stream that I do every week of the chapter where I do a live reaction. The chat is speculating. The chat is talking about Zebek. They're talking about the ancient history, talking about poneglyphs. If Luffy has this devil fruit, and this devil fruit, he obviously has a devil fruit, but if he has a very special devil fruit, does this take away from Luffy? Does this take away from the journey for you, for One Piece in general? This was a very important chapter because it's setting up the end game. And the end game, as scary as it is something that we can't wait to get to because we want answers. And Oda does a marvelous job of giving us answers, but then in the midst of that, giving us more questions. Okay, Luffy's devil fruit might be special. Might be, but why is it? Right? So questions, answers. I absolutely love this chapter. It was great. Yes, towards the second half, that's when it really picked up, but we got a lot to talk about. We have a lot to talk about. This is a perfect cliffhanger. This is how you end a chapter, because now I'm like, bro, where do we go from here? I hope we get more information at some point. I mean, more than likely it'll be from Vegapunk, but man, give me your thoughts, guys. What do you think? What resonated with you most this chapter? Was it Luffy? Who's who? The fact that Rob Lucci, pretty much his proxy, is here for the most part? Man, this was good. It was refreshing, right? It's one of those chapters that's like, I can start my day now. My Friday is going to be amazing. But guys, give me your thoughts. How do you feel about the chapter? I obviously enjoyed it. Make sure to like the video if you did. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Follow me on Twitter at BROOOO. Follow me on Instagram at BROOOO.ace. Thank you to my patrons. I appreciate you guys all so much. Guys, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
I start doubting me, I felt lost.